Dennis Erb Jr. struck last night at Spoon River for a big win, and he just couldn't hide his excitement. We'll talk about that, plus the World of Outlaws at Lincoln, more news from Roth and Buddy Kofoid, and more. Let's go. It's Thursday, May 11th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily. If you've been tuned in this week, you know I've talked about Dennis Erb Jr. and his struggles to start the 2023 season. It's been a tough go of it so far, coming off that Outlaw Championship, and he had yet to really contend anywhere. But this return to racing in his home state of Illinois came at just the right time. Flow Racing Night in America series rolled into Spoon River Speedway last night for the first of 4 Illinois Speed Week shows, and Dennis Erb did Dennis Erb things. He was fast off the truck, going second quick in his qualifying group, and ended up starting 7th for the feature. Out front, while Bobby Pierce and Brian Shirley battled it out with Jonathan Davenport in the mix as well, Erb slowly and methodically worked his way forward in the 50-lapper. As you could have guessed, Pierce was banging the boards while Shirley and Erb worked the very low side of the racetrack. In the closing stages, Erb was able to get into the fight for the win, and after a brief skirmish with Pierce, took the lead for good on lap 46 and drove away to his first victory of 2023 and his first since an MLRA win at 34 Raceway way back in July of 2022. Afterwards, Erb was so excited, as you would expect. Erb is a guy that just loves to celebrate these wins. As you can see, this was his face in victory lane getting interviewed by Blake Anderson. The guy just loves winning races. I think Erb was probably better than Pierce. Would have come out on top anyway, but the lap car of Ross Robinson getting in Pierce's way there late definitely helped the 28 stretch the gap. Pierce settled for second with Davenport third after setting the track record earlier in the night in qualifying. I think if the weather cooperates, this could be a good chance for Erb to really build some momentum going forward. He's running at tracks he knows really well for the next few nights. The Flow Series shifts to Lincoln Speedway tonight, and then it's Lucas at Farmer City and Fairbury Friday and Saturday. And at this Lincoln Flow Show just 1 year ago, Erb topped Brandon Shepard, so I think back-to-back wins could definitely be in play. Mike Marlar maintains a slight advantage over Pierce in the Flow Series standings after last night. A couple of other notes from Wednesday night's racing. Parker Price Miller showed up with his late model after recently departing his full-time sprint car ride. He had issues, though. I don't think he even ran in the B-Main. Tim McCready was in attendance, but not in the Paler 39. He ran the Rumley 5 car, which has become that R&D car. He went 18th to 11th in the feature after a B-Main transfer. And some names who missed the show last night included Brandon Overton, Ricky Thornton Jr., Jason Fager, and Max Blair. So Lincoln is up next tonight. Should be a very similar lineup, and the weather looks like it'll be good. You can tune in live again on Flow Racing if you aren't nearby and cannot get to the racetrack. But before we talk some sprint cars, don't forget Dirt Tracker logo hats back in stock at shop.dirtracker.com. They are the trucker-style snapbacks. Shipping and sales tax are on me when you order if you live in the U.S. If you also want to snag a shirt with your hat purchase, use code HAT23 at checkout. You'll get 50% off the price of the shirt. So you can get a hat and a shirt shipped right to your door for $42.50 total, obviously if you live in the U.S. Place your order over at shop.dirtracker.com. At the other Lincoln Speedway, the one in central Pennsylvania last night, the World of Outlaws sprint cars kicked off a stretch in Posse territory. At the end, though, it wasn't Outlaw guys battling for the victory, but instead 2 of Pennsylvania's best. Brett Marks started on the pole and was in command for basically the whole feature. Late in the race, though, Anthony Macri reeled him in and made things interesting. On the white flag lap, I kind of felt like Marks had a big enough lead to really go on and take the win. But the Concrete Kid made a Hail Mary move in 3 and 4 on the top and was somehow able to beat Marks back to the checkered in a drag race. Macri said afterward that he was, quote, prepared to junk the thing or come out on top. A good thing for him and crew chief Joe Mooney ended up in victory. Behind Marks in second, David Gravel was the highest finishing Outlaw driver in third. The win for Macri was actually his first Outlaw top 5 and first Outlaw top 10 of 2023. He led laps on the opening night back at Volusia, but hasn't really been super fast in Outlaw shows otherwise. His best finish was an 11th, which came last weekend at Eldora. He has shown plenty of speed elsewhere, though, including that high limit win at 34 Raceway. With a 5th place run, Brad Sweet extended the series points lead with Carson Macedo finishing way down in 18th. It was also an abysmal night for Jacob Allen. He won this Lincoln race a year ago, but he missed a C-Main transfer spot last night, used a provisional to start the feature, and then finished 27th in the main event. Also, if you're curious, Corey Eliason was 17th in his debut with Crouch Motorsports. He nipped Billy Dietrich late for the final B-Main transfer spot, then went 24th to 17th. Also, Shelton Hadenshield's roller coaster season just absolutely continues here. He ended up in the work area during the feature and finished 19th. In his last 10 races, he's got a win and a second, but also 6 finishes outside the top 10. For a team and a driver with championship aspirations, stretches like this just are not going to get it done against these hyper-consistent guys. Talk about Brad Sweet, David Gravel, Carson Macedo. The series is off today, and they've got 2 shows this weekend at Williams Grove for the Morgan Cup. Also in Sprint Car Land, I've got another update for you on Roth Motorsports. As expected, the team announced yesterday that James McFadden and the 83 will head to California this weekend and run the 2 nights of the Peter Murphy Classic. That is with the NARC 410 series. I was told that the team had planned on running with NARC last week as well, but the Silver Dollar Speedway event was rained out. McFadden and Roth are expected to run 70-ish races going forward on a pick-and-choose schedule. Roth will also campaign a second car at hand for this weekend for Buddy Kofoid. Kofoid obviously ride shopping after departing the Crouch Motorsports 11 this past weekend. With those 2 inbound and how tight things have been so far with NARC this season, do not sleep on these races this weekend. Corey Dave versus Dominic Scelzi, and now you've got McFadden and Buddy sprinkled in. That sounds like a pretty good time to me. One other news item for you today. Holly Shelton is returning to the seat of a midget this season with 11 races planned. She's teaming up with Bundy and Ethan Mitchell to pilot one of their Honda-powered Spike chassis. Her first start will be with the Extreme Outlaw Midgets at Tri-City on June 1st. The rest of her starts will come at Angel Park, Eldora, Bakersfield, Placerville, Merced, and Ventura in USAC competition. She's not raced a midget since 2018 and has since made scattered other open-wheel starts. In her career, she's got 5 USAC midget top 5s, 23 top 10s, plus 10 top 5s, and 29 top 10s in Power I competition. Because of our NASCAR connection, I've gotten to know Holly a little bit over the last few years, and I'm stoked that she's getting a serious chance to race again. Looking at the streaming schedule today, we've got 8 shows coming up across Flow Racing, Speed Sport, Clay Per View, and Dirt Vision. That is headlined by the Flow Series at Lincoln. To see the full daily streaming schedule with links to watch, visit DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight. This page gets updated on its own every single day, so this is always a good place to check, maybe in the mornings or partway through the day to see what there is coming up. I actually use this myself just to make sure I know what races are coming up, because most of the big stuff obviously gets shown on the streaming services anyway. But DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight, great place to check some stuff out on the streaming services. And DIRTRACKR.com is really a great place to go for all sorts of dirt racing stuff. You've got all the news items there on a daily basis, the analytics section. You can find all of the past daily episodes and conversations episodes, links to all the places to watch or listen to those. And there's a ton of other information there as well. So if you haven't checked out DIRTRACKR.com lately, I would definitely suggest doing that. I hope you guys have a good Thursday out there. We'll be right back here tomorrow.